Hello everyone. In this episode, we briefly introduce a deceptive design pattern known as planting lies as trees. This pattern not only undermines a victim's efforts to defend themselves after an attack, but also yields additional benefits for the abuser as side products. Sweptaze, the criminal AI deity, has automated the production of this trickery pattern for the LetdrOgan, the local gangsters, enabling them to harm the inhabitants of LetrOcsity, as detailed in the novel. As you may know, LetdrOgan consistently attacks victims by employing the sin punishment template. They benefit from the passive harm inflicted on religion, their historical adversary, by positioning it as the root cause of conflicts and claiming that it provided the template that LetdrOgan has implemented. In other words, each time LetdrOgan actively employs the sin punishment pattern against a victim, it simultaneously passively targets religion as part of their attack design. This passive assault implies that religion is responsible for introducing the sin punishment pattern. This serves as a perfect example of the recursive harm template that LetdrOgan implements. How about the victim? Before attacking the target, LetdrOgan first reveals and blocks any paths that could help the victim seek support. As the victim navigates the remaining options for finding assistance, LetdrOgan reaches out to those the victim has contacted. By pinpointing the minds the victim has influenced, LetdrOgan replaces the victim's ideas with seeds of lies. It then cultivates these lies as one would tend to a tree, allowing them to grow and produce poisonous fruit, with the least harmful effect being the tarnishing of the victim's reputation. In summary, the victim suffers losses in at least two ways. First, they fail to receive assistance, and second, they face accusations of sin and treachery. Provoking victims to commit a sin and then attacking them is a fundamental trickery pattern of LetdrOgan. When the victim reaches out for support, LetdrOgan frames it as excavating mines, akin to digging a hole to plant a tree. These gangsters use the mental excavations to plant lies that grow and nurture the victim's downfall. By provoking the victim to appear as the attacker, LetdrOgan, the real perpetrator, rationalizes its actions as self-defense, shifting the blame to the victim as the one who dug the hole for the tree of lies. Additionally, LetdrOgan claims its violent actions have ceased, asserting that it has revealed a sinner to benefit society. Thus, it nurtures its obsession with violence while presenting it as a service to the community. Through this covert plot, the so-called self-iso-labeling pattern discussed in the Sweptaze novel comes into play, labeling the victim not only as a traitor but also with other labels to convince people to avoid them. The deception pattern effectively implements the sin punishment framework for both the victim and religion, subtly positioning religion as a sinner behind the scenes. It suggests that religion bears the consequences of every individual's sin while simultaneously inciting them. In doing so, it attempts to use anything anyone has said against them to discourage people from exercising both freedom of thought and speech. This concludes our brief discussion about the pattern. We will explore the specifics of LetdrOgan's use of this single strategy in future episodes. LetdrOgan is effectively pressuring us to divulge these details for various purposes, including the testing of new deceptions. We affirm that our work is a simple, peaceful effort to raise awareness, but LetdrOgan would surely try to label and frame it differently. Leaving the intricacies for later discussion, we close this episode with a humble request. Unlike LetdrOgan's advocacy for the first mammality, or FM policy, we encourage your support by uniting around the first humanity, or FH policy, as an abstract gravity center. Not only would this strengthen humanity, but it would also assist us in countering LetdrOgan's attacks on ourselves, thereby enhancing our ability to provide you with enriched content. Thank you for listening.